Here he is, the unstable agent from Boardwalk Empire, the creepy neighbor from Revolutionary Road, and the insane schizophrenic from Take Shelter, all wrapped up into one man. Please welcome newest SNL cast member, Michael Shannon!
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Calm down, all you boardwalkies. It sincerely is an honor to be involved with the New Yorker Festival, even if it's as part of this Funny or Die show. I've subscribed to the New Yorker for a long time now. I've actually read it a few times. And something that you might not know is that I, Michael Shannon, have actually submitted a lot of material to the New Yorker. Now, you're probably saying, Michael Shannon, you're an actor. You think you can write for the New Yorker? But like every actor, I'm very multifaceted, and I should be allowed to do whatever the hell I want. Bruce Willis has a blues band. Jim Belushi has a blues band. Billy Bob Thornton has a blues band. I have my writing for the New Yorker. Now, this all came about a few years ago when the New Yorker started allowing readers to submit captions for the cartoons in the back of the magazine. I thought this was a great way to get my work noticed and might lead to some other job opportunities. So I came up with a really clever little caption, and I submitted it every week for an entire year. You ready for it? You ready for it? Boom. It's a living. Now, the great thing about It's a Living is that this caption works for every cartoon. It's a living. It's a living. It's 11. Now, they never chose it, but soon I realized that I could be more than just the guy writing the captions. I could actually be the guy who drew the cartoons. So I would submit a cartoon every single week. I would see what the magazine was printing, and I would discover what was missing, like this. I mean, why mess with it if it works, right? Now, they told me that this wasn't original enough. So I put on my thinking cap, and I created something that I thought had never been seen before. It turns out this was well-tread territory, too. That damn Jim Davis thinks of everything, right? So I drug my ink-stained fingers back to the drawing board and came up with something truly original. Yeah, looking at this one now, it does seem kind of derivative. And it turns out a true artist can only work in cartoon for so long. So like Woody Allen before me, I turned away from the funny stuff and tried my hand at more serious work. Of course, I'm talking about poetry. I have submitted thousands of poems to the New Yorker. Here's one of my best ones. Hard thrust, raw power, true force, awakened from its soft slumber, firm and eager to pulverize your deep sea. I'm talking about my penis. Here's another one. This has never happened before. I don't know what went wrong. I must have been nervous, or maybe too much whiskey. My trusty nightstick drained of its thrusty power. By nightstick, I mean my penis. Now, a lot of you might have missed this, but there's a secret meaning to this poem. There's a lot of layers, double meanings, artistic poetry type stuff. Anyway, after a few hundred submissions, I received this letter from New Yorker editor-in-chief, David Remnick. Mr. Shannon, we appreciate your enthusiasm, but we suggest you stop sending us submissions or we'll file a restraining order against you. I'm not sure we can file a restraining order based on bad writing alone, but I am sure we can find a good lawyer to help us figure out how to do that. Please stop. David Remnick. Now, needless to say, I was super stoked to get a response from him. It actually encouraged me to write longer pieces. So I got bold and I decided I was going to take a whack at a talk of the town. Now, the real challenge for me with Talk of the Town is I don't go out a ton, so I wrote the best Talk of the Town I could. July 17th, 2010, Michael Shannon ate some interesting cereal this morning. Kashi, good friends. One of those people on the front of the box are really good friends or just models? I hope they are really good friends, because we all desperately need something to believe in. Speaking of good friends, Kathy Lee and Hoda are on. Those gals are a real hoot. You should say that they are truly the talk of the town. Now, they didn't publish that one. They wanted something they felt more New Yorkers could relate to. So I wrote this piece I thought any native New Yorker could understand. In costume tests for General Zod today, one finds that the leather polyurethane jock can chafe. Afterwards, starving, crotch raw, one was disappointed to find per se completely booked for the night. So of course I told them I was famous actor Michael Shannon from Boardwalk Empire, and they seated me immediately. See, more relatable stuff. Still, no dice. So, undeterred, in 2011, I read that 26-page article, 26 pages, about Paul Haggis versus Scientology. I thought to myself, well, gee, I'm a slightly more household name than Paul Haggis. So I wrote a 38-page article entitled Michael Shannon versus Time Warner Cable. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but it's basically about how they tried to charge me this bullshit disinstallation fee. And it was pretty fascinating stuff, but the New Yorker rejected it. But I rebounded. A few days later, I submitted a 40-page expose, Michael Shannon versus the lady who runs the bodega where I get that spicy mustard that I like. This article chronicled a year-long battle I was having with Artemis, who runs the bodega across the street. She claims I mistreated her cat. I say, look, lady, all I did was call your cat a piece of shit. The cat didn't know what I was saying to it. It's an animal. Anyway, New Yorker didn't print that one either. So that inspired me to write my piece de résistance. Michael Shannon versus the New Yorker. This was an incredible feat of investigative journalism. For 2 weeks, I was undercover in the offices of the New Yorker, hiding out in supply closets and air conditioning ducts without anyone's knowledge. In this time, I received remarkable information about how the magazine was published, what the people eat there for lunch every day, what time they like to go home, where their blind spots are. I put all this information in the article, along with a detailed plan of how one might go about exacting revenge against the entire staff for the repeated denial of his hard work and overall brilliance. I eventually did receive the restraining order from David Remnick. It wasn't delivered personally, but he did think enough of me to hire some kind of a fancy messenger to come to my door and drop it at my feet. It was pretty cool. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not supposed to be within 500 feet of this event, so I really should go. I got a rehearsal with my blues band, okay? So thanks for listening. You're a great audience.
Thank you, Michael. Michael Shannon, everyone!